let's take a look in here. Also, let me see what was written in the portfolio stuff here. Okay, so got into 3D because I downloaded Blender one day and found it really fun. Dude, hell yeah. The power of something being free. If it wasn't free, you would have never done that. That is so cool. Almost like playing a game, so I kept making random stuff in it. Then branched out to other stuff and found out that I had the most fun creating environments. Is this you, Double? Dude, that's such a dope name, Double Snup. I don't know what that means. Hopefully it's nothing bad. You're aiming to be a 3D environment artist in the games industry. You're trying to find a job right now, so wondering what I can improve on my portfolio. Mainly looking for general feedback on my portfolio. What could I remove, add, change? How could I improve my pieces? Maybe anything that sticks out on first glance. Please don't be afraid to be brutally honest. So, I have a hard time being brutally honest, but I will point out the things that I think could be removed or improved. So brutal, I'm not a brutal person, but I'll tell you if something doesn't look good. So when I looked at this portfolio, the first thing that stuck out to me is honestly, I think it's the lighting steady one because of the way that you're formatting the thumbnail. And then I noticed that your modular thumbnail has the same kind of setup. Not just the band, but like the slice in the middle and this one too. But the text that you're using there, it's pretty cool. And I think generally the presentation you have on your thumbnails is quite good. Nothing's distracting or pulling away from the what we're expecting to see if we click on the piece. The easiest way to get me to have a disappointed look on my face is no detail normals. No, let's get into here. So you've got some rocks, you've got some procedural spider webs. What? Interesting. I'm intrigued. Yeah, these are all easy to read. Some nice material work. I actually really like that you're not showing this on a sphere. Not because I'm sick of spheres, but it made me not even realize that this was a material post until I moused over it. And then it's like pine bark material. I'm like, what? Okay. Then you got some speed tree going on. So you're touching a lot of stuff. You're doing modularity, you're doing lighting steadies. You got some sculpting challenges with the rocking in the new year. Spheres suppressing. You've got some shader practice with rock materials. Let's see what else we've got. A trash can, a violin, in the attic. Okay. So I think the spread of what is here, at least at first impression, is quite good for an environment or someone who wants to be an environment artist. I'm surprised that when I see it says trash can, I'm going to click on it, that it's just a trash can, because it's actually an environment supporting the trash can. That's a nice trash can. What the hell? That's sick. It's a little dense. It's quite dense on the dented one. Yeah. Oh, it's quite a... Okay, so one thing that you could do is like, there's a lot of games recently that have started trying to build shaders to support this type of damage. If it really depends on the type of game or type of content you're making. If you're building, if you like being technical, which the things I see in here are like shader, substance designer, modularity. If you like being technical, you could be working on a shader where you give it a mask to do this type of stuff. And then it's just a mask instead of two completely separate authored maps. And then you're just using tileable materials for that. But it looks like just the general process. Like, we don't necessarily need to know the triangle count of your high polys. But, I mean, this looks cool. I would say maybe on the turntable, some type of ground, just so that we can feel that it's grounded, would help, just so that it looks like it's not floating. Oh, nice. You even added the poly count on the damaged or like rusted one is pretty high though. Like I feel like it could probably be half that and you wouldn't notice. Because a lot of the geometry here just requires some like silhouette denting, for example. 60K tries seems like a Nanite advert. The ye old trash can standoff. It's a battle of two cans. Let's dig around here a little bit. So we got a rock material. So this is 7 months ago. What I would actually say about this rock is a lot of the shape language that's happening on the surface of it feels unnatural. Like you don't normally see this kind of like swirly feel with a rock surface. Depending on how, so the character can get, this is pretty big. I wonder what this is great. They're using a RGBA mask for like pushing the visuals of it. Oh yeah, that's cool. So because you can get so close to it, this should probably be maybe double the poly count. Maybe it's okay. It's in Unreal, right? So you could use a tessellation on it and that would do it. It's an alien rock, you silly dude. All rock is formed the same way, bro. No, I don't know. I don't know. It does have some alien vibes to it though. I think when it comes to the masks and like how you control that, it's just making sure that you have enough information in each of the channels that you can push and pull inside of the shader, right? If it's very black and white on the mask, like the blue, looks like the blue stops on the edges only. Like I would let that blue like fade out just a little bit so that you can in the shader pull it in or push it out as much as you want. So you're thinking more about shader flexibility in how you're generating your masks. Um, yeah, let's see what we got. So we just got color, texture. Oh, interesting. So you have an additional color that you're lerping on top of the texture. So these colors are more for like, okay, and that's edge highlights. You're also exposing them. Curvature mask overlay. Yeah. Sculpt to normal control. You got a tileable normal, it looks like, and then your sculpt to normal. So with this material here, I would definitely expose those to oh, sorry. Let's do this. I would be exposing these to a tileable UV, like this right here, over in the, just so that you can tile this as much as you want, and then your sculpted one you can, it's just 0 to 1. So for this workflow, you think you wouldn't use painted textures just for the color because you can do that in Painter. You would apply entirely different rock materials. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. I mean, definitely like the fact that these are just simple colors is just a little too simple for what they end up exposing. Like the dirt basically just becomes a flat color, right? It does. Like, does the final result look better than it would if you just out of Painter as a baked texture? It's a good question. It's trying to figure out like how to push it, right? Like a lot of the shape language that's going on in here is more to do with like how you're sculpting rocks, which is arguably one of the harder things to be sculpting. Yeah, rocks are freaking hard, man. But this is cool. I like that you're showing it and breaking it down. You're showing the angles that I would expect to see for an asset like this. But it's just like from this view, for example, you can see that you're showing that it's not holding up at this view. Like this crack that's going along this, that looks like the detail normal, and it's tiled enough where you can see the pattern. So any like macro language that's happening like this shouldn't be in the detail normal. It probably should be more like surface. Can confirm rocks are hard. um, but yeah, getting the surface to read more. Like you could get a height map on this and use nanite and tessellate it, right? But there's a lot of things to sort through to get it to look good at this view, which I think just requires a bit more geometry as well, and maybe some context, other elements to like help ground it. Like a rock will look really good, especially if it's grounded in an environment versus like just on its own. But showing your shader practice and your understanding of the workflow, you get it. You understand the process. Dude, look at all of these. This challenge is usually, this is about how many I have in my rock challenge. This challenge is good because it gets you to think about the shape language of rocks. And I like that you're thinking about directionality. It's extremely important to understand that. That's the only way you can get sculpted rocks to feel at all natural, is they have to follow the rules of like how rock and cliffs form in the real world. Dude, this is what? Dude, that's cool. Oh, you got it in Unreal too? Man, that's awesome. You can warp edge mask with detail normals added to UVs to hide low resolution. Definitely, definitely. Man, there's a lot of exposed attributes in here. So I think when showing off the more technical stuff that you're working on here, getting this to be as user friendly as possible is probably the best way. Is that a purchasable plugin? Everyone needs spiderwebs. It's true. It's true. Everyone needs spiderwebs. But yeah, I would try and find a way to cut down the amount of exposed attributes and make it really friendly for people to use. Yeah, and be mindful that the more parameters, the more expensive the shader gets. So what this is being built in Designer and then being pushed to Substance or to Unreal, right? I think the thing you probably need to figure out is like when you squish it this much, is getting the webbing to feel not distorted or stretched. It's cool though. Quite interesting. And then you're looking at modularity here. Holy cow, dude, that roof. That's pretty crazy how you have this set up. Man, I want to see like, so I want to see, holy cow, you made the inside too. How many pieces are we talking about here? Oh, whoa. Okay. So modularity wise, this is pretty impressive. I think this proves you understand modularity. The next facet of this is more like, so what, let me start with the thing I want to see on here is a video of you putting it together and using it to create other buildings or different rooms on the inside. Like you could easily have the exterior kit and the interior kit be two separate things and deliver those as their own presentation. That way it's not like a flood of like, look at all these pieces. You know what I mean? Really like breaking down and showing us how you're doing the interiors. I think he doesn't fully go into the, oh, you're talking about the video, or the link you sent. But yeah, the other thing is like, this is a ton of pieces. So I think if there's ways to optimize the amount of pieces needed, that would help a lot. That would help a lot. Because like the floor is very broken up. Maybe the floor doesn't need to be in that many small pieces, right? But it depends on like how this is being put together. That's pretty impressive though. Yeah, like see this long one and this long one, are those the same? They feel like they're similar. And then it looks like you've doubled up on the shapes based on like a ceiling. Is that a ceiling in the floor? But yeah, a video showing you how this is all used or how you are using the pieces would go a long way. Oh, this is beautiful. This is actually really a really nice piece. Oh, dude. Man, this one's sick. Pretty high poly for a game ready asset, but man, these renders are really nice. Like your understanding of the material is really strong. What? Did you pose that character? Oh my god, I love these renders. Metahuman? Dude, hell yeah. It's nice to see someone using Metahuman for presenting assets. Like, dude, if you have like a prop that is like a radio or whatever, just put it in the hand and just have the hand holding the radio or like, you know, the mic or whatnot. This is really, really good. Like for sure. Your material understanding, the way you're presenting the content, the presentation of the imagery. This is 2 months ago. Oh, dude. Man, the lighting on this is like, yeah, this is really nice. Oh, the bow too, bro. This is so sick. So I don't think it's game ready, but I do think this could be an in-game cinematic or like a pre-render for a game. It's still a bit high poly, but I mean, I don't think I want to care about that more so than like, yeah, see, this is great. You're showing the difference in resolution. It's more about showing your eye for the art, right? Because we can always optimize. We can always find ways to build it in a cheaper way. But if you can build something really cheap that looks like, if you know what looks good, you can build something cheap that looks good. It's easier to teach someone how to optimize than it is to teach them how to like make something look beautiful. Like this is really, really nice. Oh yeah, dude. Man, you really went through the labor of trying to optimize. Yeah, see, these could be much lower, and you probably would not notice. Why say much lower? Maybe like a third could be removed, and you wouldn't notice. And this also looks like you got it low enough. Like the detail that's in here, you could probably almost cut out entirely other than a lifted center. Because it's the silhouettes that you'll notice the geometry is lower poly. Man, that's really cool. Yeah, you really tried to retain the, I think there's an extrovert right here, but you really tried to retain the shape on the edges. Yeah, but like we're saying, it's extremely close. You probably don't need the triangulated version, just because like you're already showing these. And your presentation's really nice. I always find these cool too, like a pure ref board. I always thought it would be cool if they would find a way to integrate something that's like a pure ref inside of ArtStation, so that you could zoom in and like look at the references. The engine will triangulate for sure, but I think showing us the mesh that you have is going to be good. So this is lighting and composition studies. What? Wait. So you group some of your artworks made in Blender to one post. Most vegetation foliage assets are from various asset packs. Most of everything else, such as water, mountain structures, were made by me. This is sick. What the hell? So there's like, this is great. This is a great use of other like content you've acquired, because you're like telling, like this one, dude, there's so much being told. You like really captured that kind of feeling. This is very, very well put together. I like this. I like how it's condensed together as well. I need to, hang on. We need to, there we go. This is cool. I like the moods going on here. There's a lot of range, not a lot of duplication. I like that it's different environments with different lighting, not just the same environment with different lighting. Yeah, the average person would think that's just outside. Put the violin in there and you have a Far Cry 5 looking post. Okay, so last environment, and hit me with any question you might have in chat, because we're on the tail end of the review. But dude, there's some great stuff going on in here. Your most recent stuff is quite good. This one's 9 months ago, and this one is 2 months ago, and this one's 2 months ago as well. I actually feel like this isn't as strong as these two, mainly because like the overall image is quite good. Some of these shots are really, like, this is really nice, but there's some soft lighting stuff going on around the edges of geometry. Is the created game ready environment. Working on this project took me around 2 months on and off work to create. It's a real-time environment, used baked lighting, nice, and achieved 160 FPS on the project. Every model is created by me along with most of the textures. So there's some softness that's going on with the edges here, and maybe some artifacts in the way that the UVs for the light maps are being affected when you bake the lighting. Resolution on the table looks like it's a bit low. Same with the chair. So maybe more of like a tiling issue, and just making sure that it reads really well. It reads like a proper resolution. Like, it feels a bit low right now. And there's a weird edge here, which is probably weighted normals, and you just need to add a bevel or two there. This shot's pretty nice. Maybe some variation in the cardboard to just try and get it to feel a little bit more grounded. The metal frame here, or not grounded, but more natural feeling. The metal like shelving here is weirdly dark. I'm not sure what's causing that. If it's like the albedo or the metalness that you have on there. I can't I recognize the shape language, but I'm not recognizing the material type that's on the surface. You know what I mean? Dang, that Floor looks dusty as hell. Could be reflection capture. Definitely. You just need to put like a reflection capture sphere here. Man, that chair is weird. How the back is like these legs and the front is those legs. These legs feel a little further in than I would expect them to be. Usually this is a whole extension. This goes all the way down, but oh, these are cool. Man, this gives me some like Resident Evil vibes. This shot here. So you have good attention to detail. It's more about general execution of materials and just pushing them further. And be careful with like the normal strength on the rugs. Quality Attic got it up my game. The wear on the edge of wood would look a bit dark. Also looks a bit dark. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's why I was highlighting like this is 9 months ago, whereas these are like 2 months ago. This, dude, you take that attention to detail. It doesn't need to be like geometry wise, that high poly and like quality, right? But the material understanding you have here, applying that to all of this scene would be a huge. I'm not saying redo the scene. I think your next scene is going to look substantially better than this one because of what you've shown here. I don't think you need to go back though. Don't put yourself through that. You know, reopening a project and cleaning it up. I think it's more important to move on to the next thing and make the next cool thing for yourself and for your portfolio. Okay. I need to stop here. We're a little over time. But do you have any questions before I get out of here? Wait a moment. There's a bit of a delay. You think that's it? All right. There's a lot of great stuff today. Lots of stuff to work on too, to like just like easy to pinpoint ways to improve. Really nice. Thank you for sharing your portfolio as well.